time.
Oh my God.
On the show. Our friend from episode 1.
Okay.
A day oneer. She's been around.
All 5 years.
All 5 years. She loves us. Y'all, please give it up for Rae Bell.
Woo, 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 woo.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here. You look so pretty and pink.
I'm about to go over there and fix her mic and stuff. I got you, queen. I got you, queen.
Kelvin is a pro. Happy Sunday, hoes. Like I said, y'all are listening to the Get Right Radio Show, and y'all are in for a treat because Rae is a joy as Kelvin tries to serenade y'all with his red ass. Yes, we got to get you together. It ain't called the Get Right for no reason. Okay.
There you go.
Kelvin is not only a host but production.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, he doesn't get paid for that though. We don't have to talk about it on air. So yes, I'm so excited to be here. This feels like family.
It does feel like family because it is family.
Mm-hmm. Right?
It's like, really though, I'm like, you guys are like my brothers. Like, every time I see Buffy, my heart's so happy. So I'm gonna cry. But
That makes me so happy.
I love you guys so much. So I'm just happy to be here, and it's my first time, and so I'm just like, this is wild. Kind of. I had like a big fear of not coming on here, but also
Really?
I'm weird on mics, so I'm very much like a one-on-one. Like, come over, let's go to like lunch, let's do dinner.
This is that.
Pretty much.
What's
Just ain't
like
no food.
True.
Yeah, that's the only difference.
Maybe I just need to be distracted.
Right.
I need to do something with my hands.
You're okay. We're going to get into some things.
Yes.
I remember when you used to say stuff like that about your social media and not wanting to be a content creator because you're very much like, I like to be behind the scenes. But then you started doing that. Now you're a brand ambassador.
Yeah.
Photography is popping off the Richter scale. So we will get into all of that very soon.
Okay.
Kelvin, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm doing well.
I feel the excitement.
Yes, it is Everyday People Sunday.
Yes.
So we're going to hit the streets a little bit later.
I love it.
So I'm excited about that. You know, and it's also my last Sunday going out for a while.
You did tell me that.
I'm not going back out until homecoming in October. So I'm gonna take a month off.
That's good.
Yeah, stop all the drinking and the parlaying.
Come on, but I never get tired of parlaying.
Yeah, I may parlay like in smaller settings now. I don't think I'm gonna be like out in the streets.
Right.
I'll be like at home or like a game night or something like that.
No more bathhouses.
No more bathhouses.
Right.
No more
like intimate settings. I hear that. I hear that.
I didn't know you went to missionary college.
Why y'all trying to play me?
Well, no. Kelvin is repping his alma mater today, and his hat says missionary college.
Does not say missionary
and
college.
I think that's amazing. I love that on the Get Right we promote Scholastic.
It says Mission College
and higher learning.
It says Mission College, and one of my favorite movies is School Days.
I thought you were gonna say Booty Call.
No.
Oh.
No, one of my favorite movies is School Days, and they went to Mission College. It's a made-up college. It's not a real college. It's a made-up HBCU for School Days, and this is Mission College.
So it's not missionary, and they didn't have the space for the AR and Y.
No, it's not missionary. It's Mission from School Days.
Got it.
I mean, I like missionary college as
well.
well.
Yeah.
That would be a thing.
Yeah, I heard that the training is very hands-on.
That would be really nice.
Yeah, very face-to-face learning.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
You're right on top of the professor.
Yeah. Well, the professor's right on top of you.
Okay. Right there.
Yeah.
Switch up too.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's good for the learning. Okay, so you're excited about everyday people
not
not going outside.
Not going outside for the rest of the summer until homecoming. I'm going into hiding. What else happened this week? I saw you this week.
Did you?
I thought I did.
When?
I didn't see you this week.
When?
Oh, that was last week.
The last time I saw you was the podcast.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, we did it. I did see you because we did a podcast. We went on.
Oh, yes, that's why. Okay, we were shout out to Just a Dope Ass Podcast.
No, reinvent team.
I'm trying to figure. Okay, so so that one was just reinventing.
Yes.
Okay, because I can't tag reinventing when I share the stuff.
And they have another podcast called
That's Just a Dope Ass Podcast.
It's very confusing, right? If you're confused,
I'm confused.
So So from what I gathered, Just a Dope Ass Podcast is more of a free form speak easy type of situation, but Reinvent is more intentional. It's more like structured. That's their therapy side. Just a Dope Ass Podcast is just boys being boys. That's my understanding of it. So thank you for that, because we want to make sure we get proper promotion and cross branding.
Yes, and we were on Reinventing.
So shout outs to Reinventing. Yes. Shout outs to TJ and DC for the amazing conversation.
Yes, all the time.
It was a key and a cackle. I enjoyed it.
I had a good time. So that was fun. So that's when I seen you. And that's pretty much what I did on my week. I think I had a really like low impact week.
Okay,
work was cool. A couple meetings. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm trying to figure out what I did this week. I felt like I'm always on the move, but I don't feel like I did anything super notable. Like everything I did this week was for personal development and professional development. So just like a lot of behind the scenes things that I felt like I needed to do. Working on some proposals, editing my resume. Like it's been very professional driven. So yeah, I hung out with that guy somewhere in there briefly. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. But aside from that, it's just been very much like, where do I want to be? What steps do I need to take to get there? And that's been it. That on top of it, financially, I haven't been in a position to be hitting functions and stuff.
I hear that.
Like shit, I shouldn't even be going today, but my best friend paid for it. So hey,
we'll take a ticket. Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
Okay.
So yes, Rae, how's your week been?
Oh, it was busy. I feel like all my weeks are really busy right now, but this one, I feel like it was a lot work-wise and then a lot like other work-wise. And like even yesterday, like I had like an event and I had work, and then today I have this and then another event, and then I have like a fundraiser tonight.
Wow.
So it was like prepping all that, and then I had like a interview for like a city thing.
Okay.
Which was cool, but it's been like up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm just like, let's breathe somewhere in here. But it's been really fun. I also saw a guy.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Everybody's seen guys. I seen a guy.
You know?
You're right. Okay.
I did go on a date.
We love that.
Yeah, so
you ain't talk about that during your week. I'm tired of the sneaky shit.
Oh, let me tell you. I have something to show you.
Don't cut Rae off.
Oh, go ahead, Rae.
Thank you.
No, it's okay.
No, he has no etiquette.
No, I'm like, this is conversation. I'm like, I want to hear what you have to say.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, that was my week for the most part. I want to say like, it's all been super exciting, but also it's kind of the same as you. Like, okay, let's also, what are we doing? Let's continue planning. Let's continue doing all the other things as well. Like keeping our resume updated, keeping everything up to date, just in case you never know what happens.
Right.
And you just got to stay ready.
Stay ready. You ain't got to get
ready. But yeah, just projects and just be busy. So
okay.
It's been interesting.
I've been watching. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I see on any given day, you could be doing set design. You could be taking us on your fitness journey.
Yes.
Showing us your clients. Yeah. Like it's very multifaceted and interesting to watch.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I kind of love that part because I'm someone who I can't do the same thing for too long. I don't know what that speaks to, but I can't, like, I'm like, if it's one thing every single time, I would get bored of it.
Yeah, same.
And so I feel like I've created this space where I can really, it's always something different, whether it is graphic design or a photo booth, or, you know, it is fitness and making sure that happens, or it's a photography event or something like that. I'm like, it always changes, and it allows me to like pour into that in that moment. And then I get to refresh with something else or refresh with like rest or something, but it's never the same thing at the same time. And I love that. Happy.
Absolutely. So. Before we get into Kelvin's Hokapades, what is the fundraiser for the city?
Ooh, okay. So I work at the library for the city.
Okay.
I teach art to like all the patrons. We call them patrons, people who come in.
I love that.
And so tonight we're doing a fundraiser. It's called Great Expectations, on the play of the book Great Expectations. And this is where we're going to get all of our money for the grants. So I get to go in and like be all cool while everyone's like trying wine and do all these stuff and like kind of explain everything that we do at the library, and then have them give us money.
I love that.
And then I'm also gonna just smile and hopefully someone will give me extra money.
Okay. You know, people are always in a giving mood when they're a little intoxicated.
And
so
I'm gonna be there like, oh, okay. I will take that extra.
All right. Look.
So yeah, so that's what we're doing tonight.
Who are we to turn down a handout?
Okay.
My hand is open.
All right.
All the time.
What you said?
Thank you. I will take. So yeah.
Okay, Calvin, give it to us.
Oh wow. So the person who I won't talk about on the show, we had a wonderful ramen date the other day.
Oh yes, you did tell me you were going on a ramen date.
It was really, really nice. And we got vegan ice cream afterwards. So thank you for that. It was really, really nice. But what was the highlight of the week is that they found out about the podcast. They
really
had the podcast, but not only did they find out about the podcast, they sat there and watched the entire podcast and was like enthralled with it and responding back.
Really?
Like responding back to it. And that made my day. Like watching the whole podcast.
That's so sweet.
That is.
That is
and
so
then like
sweet.
recorded it to make sure you saw that. Like
no, I recorded. I was like, look at you so enthralled. I said, I gotta show Eric.
I love that.
Just say hi, Eric.
Hi.
They agree with you more than me a lot on there. So
really?
Yeah.
Oh, smart man. I love that though. Shout outs to all of our listeners. We appreciate you guys keeping us in your rotation, your weekly rotation.
Yeah.
And yeah, we spoke about J Penn's event, right? Last week.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
That edible
extravaganza.
Yeah. And you know what I did and I forgot? I had half of that cookie.
What cookie?
The edible cookie on
from James' event?
Yes, I had it on Friday, I want to say.
Tore you up?
Took me out. I forgot how strong it was, and I forgot that it was like an edible.
Yeah.
Because I had the peach cobbler and I had the cookie, so I was like, oh, I got a sweet tooth.
Mm-hmm.
So I was cooking. I was like, well, I want some sweet side. Took a piece of that cookie.
Stupid.
Write it out.
Stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Write it out. You got to write it out at that point.
Stuck.
I told Kelvin he crept past me. He's like an edible connoisseur now, but I told him I don't like edibles because I like to be in control of consumption as much as possible. So like a few hits, I'm like, okay, I think I'm there. Let's stop. As opposed to an edible, it's like what you bite is what you bite, and you're gonna feel it when you feel it. I don't like
ride the wave.
I don't like
you
being
just
snuck up
ride
on.
it out.
That's
like,
what I
but it's not sneaking up on you because you know it's happening. You just have to wait for it. Like it's like I don't know. It's like I know
it's a game.
It's a game.
The
it is, and how much you're taking, and like you
Mhm.
really have to like figure that part out, the math part too. But I feel like I like edibles if I know I'm gonna be doing something long-winded, like so like a party or like an event or something like that. I'm like, I'll take an edible before I smoke because it's just like that smoke is gonna be too fast for me.
Got it.
And I'm just like, then I'm gonna have to do it again. So I'm like, the edible, I can ride this wave, and really enjoy it. And like when it's done, then I'm like, okay, we're about done. Like you know.
Especially if I'm taking a break from like drinking and all that stuff. Just an edible. It's if I decide to go to a house party, coast.
It'll still give you the feels, but you don't have to like be tore up.
Yeah.
Hell, I may do that today. I may not drink today.
I'm not supporting that.
I'll do an edible. I'll still be as fun.
Well, you're always fun, but like it's not the same. Oh my god. Okay, before we get into Bitch You Better Read.
Before we get into Bitch You Better Read. Oh my god.
I had this dream last night, which was so weird. It is scary times, but it was amazing. It was amazing before it became scary times. So, for everyone who doesn't know, I've always envisioned myself as a parent. I've always wanted to be a dad to make up for my lack of. And in this dream, I had a baby.
Oh, wow.
And it was just me and the baby. And it was the cutest baby. And I've had dreams about babies before, like my kids, but I've never felt connected to them.
What did the baby look like?
Me.
Like just like you?
Not just like me, but I could tell it was mine.
Oh.
And it was weird because I was raising him in my house from Queens, like the last house before I moved.
Okay.
And it was so interesting. Like I was connected. Like I was like, oh my God, are you hungry? Like I felt the verbal cues or the nonverbal cues. And it was just like, I wanted to make sure he was okay. So then I was like, oh, do you want like milk or something? So then I'm going down the steps and then these two men are walking in my living room. And I'm like, but it wasn't like comfort. I'm like, what are you doing here? And they were like trespassing. And it was the scariest thing.
With your child?
Yes.
Like, no. Yeah.
So I'm like with the baby in hand as I'm going down the steps, and then like we make eye contact, and then they chase me up the steps, and I'm holding this baby. But the fear I felt like a parent for real, where it was just like I can't let anything happen to this baby.
Yeah.
And it was so scary. But like from the once that happened, and I started running up the steps, I just woke up, and I was just like, what the fuck? But that was like it was so weird because as of late, I've really been like driving home the fact that I want to have a child. And then I was so connected to that child, but like,
do you know what you're dreaming?
No.
Do you want a dream interpretation?
From who? You?
Yeah, from me.
Yeah, go for it.
I think the baby represents your dreams and your goals, and something that you are really holding on to because you can see yourself manifested in that. That's why you were holding tight to it. You were feeding it. You were nurturing it because you've been nurturing this dream and this goal. That's why you see yourself reflected in it because you're one with it. And the people that are trying to trespass and try to take the baby are people that are trying to distract you or take away your goals, your dreams from things that you're actually trying to do. So when you're running and holding on to it, that means that you're holding on to it tightly because you don't want to let go of said dream or the people who are trying to take away that said dream or goal.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's what
That was
is.
deep.
That was really nice.
That's why this bitch does uniquely
Yes.
speaking.
Oh my
That's what
gosh. I was like, you got all that from that. I was like, run with the baby.
That's what your dream was about.
That's all I thought. I didn't think no deep. I was like, you will not take this baby from me.
That's what it is. You will not take my baby. You won't take my dream, my goals.
I love that.
It was a self-reflection.
I love that.
Wow.
And I actually preferred over, like, I mean, I don't want anyone to take my dreams, but I damn sure would never let someone take my child.
Baby.
I would
Ever.
never.
Ever.
So
That's interesting.
wow.
So whoever's trying to take your goals or dreams, look out for that this week.
Mm.
Whoever's trying to like distract you or like tell you don't do this or don't do that.
God, it's niggas.
Yeah.
It was like the men.
Oh my God. I hate it here. All right, let's talk about other people's issues. It's time for bitch. You better read. I'm a little shaken.
What's my favorite word?
Right, make it bump. 3 times for B2K.
What's my favorite
It's still not bumping.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. What's that about?
You think Harriet Tubman?
That was bumping.
What's my favorite
Okay.
word?
All right,
There we go.
Number one.
Number one.
I love when a guest comes through and they get it.
Oh my god, it's so much fun. This is usually me like on the other side, like screaming in my car, like
I love it. So the Woman King actor John Boyega speaks on dating preferences, saying, "I like my women black." John Boyega isn't compromising when it comes to his dating life. The Woman King actor made it clear twice this week that he prefers to romance black women, point blank, period. He first spoke about dating in an interview with British GQ released on September 13th. The sit-down highlighted the span of his career from appearances in 3 Star Wars films to his latest role as King Gezo in The Woman King, starring Viola Davis. Towards the end of the interview, Boyega spoke about his personal goals since turning 30 in March. He claimed work and love are a priority, but made it clear that he only dates under a rigid rule. He says, "I only date black. Then it's about chemistry, personality, goals. Is there synergy? Can I help you? Can you help me?" he said. Later in the week, John stood firm in his dating preference during an interview with The Breakfast Club, published on September 16th. As the dating conversation kicked off, John questioned Charlamagne tha God's marital status and loyalty towards black love. Charlamagne confirmed his marriage to a black woman named Jessica Gadsden. We'll go with that.
Why her name not the God?
Oh, right, if they're married. Maybe she didn't want to
Jessica
carry
the
that
God.
weight. Maybe she didn't want to carry that weight. Angela Yee asked John if he's ever dated a white woman, to which he responded yes, but claimed it was nothing serious. "I've said it openly, but it's just a preference. I like my women black. Just separate from a political statement or anything like that. It's just they're fine as hell. Melanin levels got to be over 75%. Thickness got to be there. Style got to be there. We got to laugh at the same jokes, bump to the same music. It's got to be a flow." John continued explaining why dating a black woman makes sense to him. He says, "I'm trying to have conversations where I can just talk shit behind closed doors. I'm trying to say woman, I don't." And she like, "Yeah, baby. Yeah, you right. That's what I need. I need her to understand a black man's anger or frustration. I need her to understand when certain dudes walk into the room and the energy ain't right. And she's just like, calm down, baby. Chill. I need that. I need me a black woman."
That's classic.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, you do.
Speaking on that on a public platform 2
Yeah.
times over.
2 times.
So how do you guys feel about his statements, and how do you guys feel about the conversation of prejudice over preference?
Well, 2 things. Let me just start by saying this. The Woman King is in theaters right now. So please support The Woman King. Now, there was a boycott. People
On that
I
boycotting.
saw that. Yeah.
No.
People trying to boycott because some African slaves and stuff.
Yeah.
Stop with the foolishness. This is
Mhm.
all propaganda to
Mhm.
distract you from going to see Viola Davis.
Yep.
Do an amazing job in this role.
These were our people leading the protest?
I don't know who. I didn't
It was
even
on
read
Twitter.
it. Yeah,
It's like a whole thing. But
Got
yeah,
it.
I agree with that. It's just like propaganda. Like, just go see it. They're trying to distract people. Just go out there and like
Yeah.
see the movie.
See the movie.
Mhm.
See the movie. It's woman-led, warriors, all this stuff.
And it's
Okay.
Viola Davis.
And it's Viola Davis.
Mhm.
And now John's in it. I didn't know John was in it. So I'm going to see that. I don't know, not today, but tomorrow. I'll see it tomorrow. I'll work from home tomorrow. I'll go see it tomorrow. But Secondly, shout out to Black love. I say this a lot, and I don't ever like, because it is preference over prejudice. And I do think that some people, when they say I don't date Black women, come from a spot of prejudice because of personality traits rather than preference. But when John says it, it's not just because it's Black, but like what I say all the time, I would rather date someone Black because they understand.
Yeah.
They have, like he said, the same jokes, the same side eyes. You can share a look with a Black person, like, child, they tried it, and you already know.
Right.
It's just those cadences. I don't have to explain this. I don't have to, if I make a reference to a movie, I don't have to go back and say, oh, you don't know that, or something that we all have those like common experiences. So shout out to John, because I agree. I want to date someone Black.
Absolutely. I've always envisioned myself dating someone that's Black, just because that level of understanding. I don't want to have to break down things that seem so simple. And I mean, every partner is gonna have moments where they need explanation, but for the most part, like certain social cues, quote colloquialisms. We're gonna get my tongue right today. The show just started. Don't fuck with me. Colloquialisms and like things of that sort. Like I just want you to understand my natural essence of Blackness. But I think, to go back to your point about it being based on like personality traits, sometimes it's trauma and like poor past experiences. And we don't know if that stems from like the parents. We don't know if that was from an outside family member, maybe like a distant aunt or something like that. So, you know, I don't discredit people's experiences or reasoning. As long as the reasoning doesn't fall under ignorance, in the sense of like, well, Black women are loud or aggressive. Like, I feel like that's what you were alluding to, how some people aren't into that because, you know, but I don't know. I love that though. I love that he's being vocal about that, especially on non-Black platforms like GQ British. That ain't no Black platform, but he's out there advocating for it. It's giving very much Issa. I'm rooting for everyone Black. And we'll get into this more after this commercial break.
Yes, I want to hear what Rae has to say.
That ain't no Black platform, but he's out there advocating for it. It's giving very much Issa. I'm rooting for everyone Black. And we'll get into this more after this commercial break.
Yes, I want to hear what Rae has to say.
Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
I'm over here running around trying to tell everybody about the Podcast Pit.
What's the Podcast Pit?
I'm glad you asked. The Podcast Pit is an event where you will find some of your favorite podcasts performing in front of a live audience.
Will there be food and drinks there?
Of course there will be. It's at Joxer Dailies in Culver City. They have a full bar and a full menu.
Hey, I may need to tell people about this as well.
Yes, come with me. Let's tell them. The Podcast Pit is coming. The Podcast Pit is coming.
Hey, what's up, business owners? Are you looking to take your business a step forward? Are you looking for more people to know what you have to offer? You are in luck. The Good News Radio has a special deal for you right now. You can get a commercial slot 4 times a day, every day for a month. If you are interested, email contact@tgnradio.net for more information.
Yo, this is Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked, and even though they extra as hell, check out Never Not Extra on TGN Network.
That's right.
Y'all gotta have notes, cue cards, teleprompter.
Girl, what you doing on Tuesday?
Girl, you know I'm gonna be listening to Never Not Extra.
Listen now.
Only on the Good News Radio app, girl.
The Good News Radio app. Okay, I'm about to download that right now.
Go ahead and download that shit, girl, and get in the comments, girl.
Oh, you know I'm gonna be up in there.
Because you know Kirsten be crazy.
And Moni be spilling that tea.
Oh, all right. See you on Tuesday, girl.
Hey, what's up? This is Jasmine Gates. I am the host of the New Black History Maker show, where we cover all things Black, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we know you want to be in on this conversation. So make sure you catch us live every Friday at 3:30 p.m. on TGN Talk.
Hey, my name is Jasmine Sweets, and I'm so excited to be bringing you The Sweet Spot on TGN Vibes, Good Vibes, and R&B. Playing the old school, new school, and in between. I'm coming to you this summer. Stay tuned.
Are you happy with your life, money, career, or relationships? Most people are frustrated with how life is evolving around them. What if you could change one thing to turn your life into a different direction? Would you want the insight? How could you transform your life with intuitive awareness? Learn more. Get answers today. Book a free discovery session with Coach Zena, intuitive transformational practitioner. Go to www.coachzena.com or follow on Instagram, coach.askzena.
Hey there, business owners. Don't miss our limited time offer. Advertise on.
And we are back. You are listening to the Get Right Radio Show, and we are at the start of Bitch You Better Read, currently talking about John Boyega's comments about wanting a Black partner and the camaraderie and understanding that comes with a Black on Black partnership. So, Rae, what were your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Okay. So I dated one white guy for one little small stint in my life.
Okay.
I know.
Scary times.
It was a scary time. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. And so from that experience, I was like, oh, I can't do this. Like I can't keep doing that.
No, what about it made you feel like you can't do it?
It was a lack of connection, or it was a lack of like, I had to explain a lot of things. And I like, even like in just the regular stuff, it's like, oh, you don't understand this. You don't get this. I do have to over explain, or if I am making a movie reference, you have to go watch the movie and then report back to me. Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that he had to learn it, or the things he did know about like my culture, things that he like learned outside and were trying to connect with me about that. I didn't like that either.
Like what though?
Like just like, oh, I can't even tell you. Like it was just trash. Like it wasn't good. And then I feel like I was like surrounded by just a lot of like white people. At the time I went to like a private white institution. So that's all I saw for so long.
Oh, this was college.
This was college.
Got it. That'll do it. That'll do it.
But then after that, I was just like, I can't do this. And now I'm just like, I want me like I want a king. Like I want someone to just who understands, who gets it, who I could support, who, you know, I could hold up, and they could hold up me. So like the same that he's saying, the opposite of that as well. Like for me as a Black woman, like you also have my back and you also know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You also want to support me because it's a lot for me as well. And so I'm like, I love this. And I feel like we need to keep having these conversations and protect it, because there is a lot of like, just, I want it. And I can't see myself with like, anyone that's not Black either.
Right.
So like I can't envision that. Like even though everyone in my family does.
Really?
Every single person in my family. Anytime I tell them I'm dating someone, they're like, oh, is it a white guy? I'm like, no.
That's so interesting. Why do they default to that?
I said, do you think it's because the way you carry yourself?
Possibly, but I don't. The way I carry myself, I'm just like, why does that matter? Like, why do I have to keep explaining that? Like,
we talked about that on Reinventing,
because it gives very much. Why do you speak like a white person?
Yeah, like a white person. Why are you talking white?
Yeah,
it's like, no, I'm speaking proper.
I'm just
just
speaking. Like I'm like, it's just this is how I speak.
I thought about that too, though. Like I don't know. I have gone back and forth about dating outside my race. I have not. I think I may try Hispanic. That may be the farthest of the spectrum I can go.
And it's really not that far off.
They like our cousins a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could do just like a Bradley. Just not yet. I don't know if I could do that yet.
Bradley's
well, I dealt with a Bradley who was Black, Hispanic. Yes. So yeah, I feel that. And this is not a knock to interracial relationships.
It's not a knock.
Like whatever floats your boat, that's perfectly okay. But I think that we need to get comfortable having these conversations and not taking it as a personal attack. Just because I tell you I don't envision myself with a white person does not mean I am disgusted by Black people that are with white people. Now, what I will say is I am bothered by the lack of representation by high-figured Black people, Black gay people that I find always end up in marriages with white people. That I don't like, because I feel like there needs to be an even representation of Black love and then interracial relationships, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Let's get into the comments.
Okay. Let's see. Felix said,
I need my partner to understand cultured references and be able to say nigga. Okay.
Okay, because I do not want you to have to blank yourself when fuck them other niggas, because I'm down for my niggas.
Fuck them other. It doesn't have the same flow.
Or like when Kendrick Lamar come on.
Or any artist of today, really. I completely understand that. There's just a certain level of understanding. My ex-boyfriend was biracial, so I didn't feel like there was much that I needed to catch him up on. He was teaching me, I was teaching him, and it was a very comfortable exchange. But just like 100% white, if anyone is that, I can't see it. I can't see it. Simone also said something. Shout out Simone from Never Not Extra.
Make sure you listen to them every Tuesday.
Okay.
Hello,
Okay.
Simone.
So yeah,
Me waving.
they can see that's what StreamYard's about. Number two. So Texas governor calls out Biden administration and sends 2 busloads of migrants to Vice President Kamala Harris's home after she said the border is secure. I gagged on this story. I was like, this is low-key sickening. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is playing no games with the Biden administration. Just days after Vice President Kamala Harris confirmed that the borders are secure in the U.S., Governor Abbott sent 2 buses full of migrants to her Washington, D.C. doorstep. I would gag. A few days ago, VP Harris insisted in an interview with NBC's Meet the Press that the border is secure, which was a statement that White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre echoed.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Because she's a black woman.
VP Harris, yeah, that's what I was like. It's probably Karine, not
She's a
Karen.
black woman.
VP Harris stated, I think that there's no question that we have to do what the president and I asked Congress to do. The first request we made was to pass a bill to create a pathway to citizenship. The border is secure, but we also have a broke immigration system, particularly before we came in, and it needs to be fixed. VP Harris was again asked if she was confident that the border was secure, having had 2 million cross it for the first time ever. She replied, we have a secure border, and that is the priority for any nation, including ours and our administration. But there are still a lot of problems that we are trying to fix. Given the deterioration that happened over the last 4 years, meaning it's all Donald Trump's fault. VP Harris added, we also have to put in place a law and a plan for pathway for citizenship for the millions of people who are here and are prepared to do what is legally required to gain citizenship. We don't have that in place because people are playing politics. Well, after VP Harris's comment, Texas Governor Greg Abbott targeted the Borden Cesars and said, we're sending migrants to her backyard to call on the Biden administration to do its job and secure the border. He tweeted out, Texas dropped off 2 buses of migrants outside of VP Kamala Harris's residence in Washington, D.C. today. We will continue sending migrants to sanctuary cities like D.C. until President Biden and Border Cesar Harris step up and do their jobs to secure the border. In another tweet, Greg Abbott said, Texas has bused over 11,000 migrants to sanctuary cities, D.C., NYC, and Chicago. Until the Biden-Harris administration stops denying the border crisis they've created, Texas will continue bringing the border to their front door. Hashtag Operation Lone Star. Staying true to his word, Fox News touched down at VP Harris's DC home and proved that Texas Governor Greg Abbott indeed sent migrants to her doorstep. The media company showed over 100 migrants exiting 2 full buses outside of VP Harris's home on Thursday, September 15th. Oh, that was a lot of reading. My tongue is exhausted. But the reason why I said that this is sickening is because although I don't agree with the methods exercised here, the fact that you're saying that the border is secure and I can drop off a busload of migrants that got through this border, someone here is lying.
Yeah.
That's the part that's sickening.
Yeah, someone is lying.
I don't like the fact that this is being pinned on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris because it's not their fault. And we have seen that Donald Trump was very loose in his presidency. So I don't think that it should be pinned on them. But the execution, not mad at them.
I don't like it. I don't like the people being used as pawns. It feels very... Well, we know that Texas is very racist already, and I just don't like them. Like, oh, we're just busting them in, put on your front doorstep. You deal with them. That's what it's given.
Yes,
that's very much what it's given. So I'm gonna we're gonna keep busting them and shipping them to your front door until you fix your problem. Well, no, like I don't like that. Like, if you see that there's a problem with people crossing over the border, then if the border is not doing what it needs to do, you still have those people there. So let's figure out a way to provide for those people instead of just shipping them off to DC away from everybody else.
Yeah.
And not even giving them a proper plan. So if they lived in Texas or they were going to Texas, they probably have family and people there because we know that there's a lot of Hispanic and Mexican people in Southern California and Texas. In DC, there's not a lot. So they're probably away from their family. That's not where they really were planning to come to. And now they're just misplaced in DC.
Without a plan.
Trying to figure it out.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, so you just ship them here and then what happens now? Now they're just here and like, what's the next step? Like, do we get them in something? Like, what are they doing with their time? Like, what's happening? What's the next step after that? Like, I get the method, I get like the sign or whatever, like demonstrations they were trying to get, sure. But it's just like, okay, but now these are just people like you said, misplaced, and that just doesn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
That part of it is very fucked up because if they didn't go through the proper channels, then they're not going to be able to apply for things like unemployment and food stamps and things of that sort. So don't displace and leave these people in a worse situation than they were already in. I do feel bad. These aren't pawns. These are people. So let me clear that up. That is absolutely correct. But I am glad that if they have been brought here, hopefully that means that they get a chance for a better life. So we have to see how that goes. But our government is a reality show and has been since Trump and is continuing to be that. It's calmed down. The ratings have probably gone down, but still very much a reality show. Yeah. Simone says, it seems like she can't. Oh, well, I'll wait till you post. It seems like she can't come out and say our border is not secure verbatim.
She can't. She will never.
That would look really bad.
That's a PR. Just
they can't.
Disaster.
No, that can't be said.
No, that can't be said at all.
Yeah.
And Greg was like, "Oh, okay,
right.
Let me show you how secure it is.
Hold my beer."
I hope she brought them in and cooked dinner.
I hope she did too. I bet you. Oh, I bet she makes a mean hamburger helper.
She gonna have to. 11,000.
I think she makes. Yeah, she gonna make a good stretch meal. She got to make a stretch meal.
Like, yeah, she gonna have to spaghetti and like 3 big ass pots.
Get some ramen.
Okay,
we just gonna make this stretch for everybody. Add some things to that.
Shit, give them some groceries. They know how to cook.
True.
And then like make it a big potluck for that night.
We have to have a picnic out here.
You are the VP, so like order some tables and have like an outside function. And then while you try and get these motherfuckers out your house, find out where you really place them, and don't place them in no bad situation. No, like,
and I will call Fox News over to see this.
Yes,
exactly.
And I'll talk to Abby. Hey, child, you want to come over and eat too?
Right. You send all these people here. I don't understand why our government is not upfront with things like that. Like, if these people have been displaced in front of your house, like, help them. Like, literally step up to your position. I know that's overwhelming, but step up to your position. And now let's figure out what the next steps are. Bring in the news crew. What organizations can help them? Like, this is a time for you to show what you can do. And I'm not trying to put this all on her back. I'm just saying in terms of like Biden and Kamala being like, okay, this is the situation. Because I know she called him like, do you know what this motherfucker Greg did? Like, what can we do? And I feel like these are the moments where our government has a chance to step up and show us what they're all about. And the ball kind of always gets fumbled somehow.
But I also think,
go ahead. I'm like, go ahead. But I also think like, wouldn't that also kind of highlight like that they can't do it for a lot of other people as well? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, I feel like, yes, the government is here, but like there's so many people here that also don't have like the same things.
That's real.
And so if like to do all of that too would also highlight that they're struggling in that area as well, and they can't also meet the needs of the people who are here too. So it's like to do all that and then here it's like, no, that's just gonna expose everything. So now it's just like we just talk about it, but what's the action behind it? Because it now just showcase like everything that's wrong.
I was like, I'm just thinking of ways to like help them in real time, because imagine the gag of these people getting off this bus like, oh, we finally made it to the States. And then it's just like Kamala's kind of just looking like, what the fuck are y'all doing here? I don't know what to do with y'all. It's like, I don't want, in that moment, I would imagine they're feeling hopelessness. Because it's like, shit, we're here, but they don't know, like we were a part of a trick. Like, so in that moment, I'm kind of like, you know, let them know that there is hope, restore that for them. But it's really not her responsibility to do that. Like, if I was in that situation and I had the means to, I would try and figure out a way just to, like, for that night to make sure they had food and shelter to the best of my abilities. And then after that, like, something really has to happen, because what am I going to do with 11,000 people here? Like, they need home. So I don't know.
And I hope that they did that. I hope they didn't just bust them and just been like, okay, now what? Like, you know,
I would imagine they didn't take them back over the border.
No.
So I don't know.
Put them somewhere, like
a hotel,
housing, something. Like,
you're the VP, flex.
Yeah.
Flex. You can shut a hotel down for a night and like get that much done. Number three. Child, we back on Krishan and Blueface. Krishan Rock slammed by relative after Blueface allegedly knocks out Krishan's father. Things are getting even more out of control. After Krishan Rock went to her Instagram story and accused her boyfriend, Blueface, of knocking out her father, a relative of the family is blasting her. Previously, it was shared on the Hollywood Unlocked Instagram.
Shout out to HU.
That well, they shared a story post from Krishan Rock, and she said, so my boyfriend knocked my dad out. The family stuff didn't go well. I don't even know what's going on. Red heart emoji. Fans all over Twitter began to circulate footage from the incident. One viral video showed the aftermath of the incident, which occurred at the Four Seasons Hotel in Baltimore, Maryland, where Krishan Rock is a native to. Apparently, Blueface and Krishan, who are filming a new reality show on Zeus Network,
Makes sense.
were planning to meet her family for an episode. Hence why she said things with the family didn't go well. In a second viral clip, a bystander captured a moment Krishan's father is seen knocked on the floor. The bystander recording the incident repeatedly said, "Oh shit, Blueface just knocked his ass out. Blueface just ran down on him. Shit, he just knocked his ass out. Oh shit." After the viral footage made its rounds, on top of Krishan's viral Instagram story, a relative of hers decided to take on her own IG story and slam Krishan over the incident. The young woman named Destiny said, "Krishan, you're really green as fuck. Y'all on some weird ass bitch ass shit. Like, come fight me and fuck all of y'all. No need for names. Y'all know exactly who the fuck y'all are." Destiny also added, "Y'all really play with my muscle. It's forever fuck y'all." Middle finger emoji. Destiny proceeded to add another story post of her with her middle finger up. Meanwhile, it was also shared, or Hollywood Unlocked also shared a post by Blueface's mother, Carlissa Saffold, earlier, and it read, "Jonathan, I raised you better than this. I know she lying." In a second Instagram story post, Carlissa then wrote, "I know one thing. My son better get back here the way he left. Hell won't stop me." She followed it with a third post that read, "I don't give a damn what my son did to me. That's still my child, you weirdos." After Blueface's mom and Krishan's relatives spoke out, Krishan jumped on Twitter and shared another message after the drama between her man and her family. She wrote, "What hurts the most is I don't have nothing to do with this shit for real. I was doing it for my family." She proceeded to retweet a Twitter user who said, "I'm a little fucked up in the head. That's why I say to myself." After that, Blueface added fuel to the fire and took to his Instagram story. He bluntly said, "I'm her daddy now." Laughing, crying face emoji. This relationship is the most toxic shit in the media right now. And I want the blogs to stop reposting it. Yes. Zeus is its own thing. And I'm not going to say too much on y'all because I cover y'all carpet. So I'm not going to say too much there. But I want the consistent media coverage of Krishan Rock and Blueface to stop because it's not beneficial in any way. I understand that these blogs' sole purpose is engagement. However, at the cost of what? Who is your target demographic? How old are these people? How impressionable are these people? And what is the value of the content that you're sharing? Every time we see Krishan, except for that one time where she was doing that athletes challenge show and she was doing well, all the publicity around her is a fool. Everything around Blueface is a fool. We haven't heard anything musically from Blueface since Bust Down Tatiana. And I think that was at least 2 to 3 years ago.
That's more than 2 to 3 years ago.
So what are we even covering at this point? It's the most toxic shit ever. And people in the comment section referring to them as the next Bobby and Whitney, which is not a compliment.
It's not
First
a compliment.
of all, these two do not have the talent of Bobby and Whitney.
No.
And also, you're only praising the destructiveness of this relationship. What is that? This is the same. These are the same people talking about Black empowerment, support Black business. Y'all are also supporting Black destruction. So for everyone involved, all these media outlets, please stop with the constant coverage of Krishan and Blueface. It's draining.
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It's so I have them like I don't usually use my Twitter like block features, but this is blocked always because I don't like to see it on my feed. For me, it's like it's 100% trauma porn. It's like you just want to see people get hurt. Y'all doing it for the likes, for the views, and all this kind of stuff. And they know this too. It's their market. This is how they're making money as well. So it's just like I see that and I understand why you guys are doing it, but I don't want to see it. And I don't think it should be glorified. But also their target demographic is like younger, more impressionable minds. It's in the music that they listen to. It's in like what they're seeing, and it's how they're being raised. Like my cousin is like 15 and she is like literally consuming all of this all the time. And this is also in the music that she listens to too, like all this toxic, but we still love each other, but we hate each other, but we're fighting, physical, all this kind of stuff. It's a constant rotation for her to the point where like she has a boyfriend and they're going through the same thing. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Like you're a child, walk away from this. Like, you know, but this is what she's being fed. And this is what is being deemed popular. And this is what's like, you know, it's
couple goals.
It's couple goals. It's like, oh my God, but they love each other through all this. You just hit her father, like, you know, like y'all fighting family, like this is wild.
She done knocked out the mom and the sister.
Yeah, like, you know, like, well, for what reason? Why we put one? We're fighting for what reason? Y'all fight each other, so obviously, you know, I guess y'all don't care about all that. But it's so nasty to see, and I can't stand it. And I'm always just like, please don't talk about it or leave me out of it. I hate it. It don't make no sense.
Very much remove me from the group.
Remove me from all this stuff. It's tiring and it's toxic. And it's draining.
I haven't felt this way since Will and Jada. with the red table, like when they kept doing like the oversharing of everything, and I was just like, please, this is a little worse, but it gives me the same vibe.
So that's what they did.
It's sad. And I hate to say this, but it's not going to stop until either someone is dead or in jail, because that's where it's going.
Yeah,
because he pulled her hair out. He had a black eye at an event. They're fighting family. They're fighting each other. They're slamming each other.
Yeah,
it's not getting better. It's getting worse. And it's just like when you're addicted to a drug, it only keeps getting worse until the ultimate end. And that's what this is. This is a drug to them. The fame that they're getting off of this,
that's what it is.
This
Yeah,
whatever high they're getting off of arguing and fighting each other, it's only going to get worse until someone's in jail or someone's dead.
Yeah,
and I don't want to see that for neither one of them. They're both super young.
Yeah,
they both still have a lot of life ahead of them. I watched the interview with Krishan on the Shade Room. They did a sit down with her. Timba did. And she seems like she's just a girl who tried to find a way out of a bad situation. She seemed like she didn't have a lot of family support. Her family wasn't well off, and she didn't go to college. She didn't do well in school. So she said, okay, I found a way to get myself out, get it out the mud, if you will. But this is not how you sustain that.
It's giving very much still in the mud.
It's very still in the mud.
Different type of mud. This quicksand.
And it's really sad to watch.
Yeah,
it's really sad to watch. Like I don't want to see this.
Yeah.
And the blogs picking it up and continue doing things like this, it's not helping the situation. It's pouring gasoline on the fire.
And Krishan is very talented. She reminds me of like a young Cardi in the sense that she's very marketable. She has a great personality. She's quick. She's authentic. All the things that made us love Cardi. And I'm like, she's not leveraging that right now because she's still in the gutter. But like, she has the potential to really be like a star athlete, media personality, brand ambassador. Like anything she wants to do, she can do it. I think she's even dabbling in music because who isn't at this point? Blueface, I don't think he's talented, but I think he's marketable. So like, they could be doing so much more. But I guess when you don't see a bigger picture, nothing we say matters.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying, especially if this is what is being marketed. Like this is what they're being marketed for. Like right now, this is their claim to fame. Like all the other stuff, yeah, like it was their intro into all this, but like this is what they're receiving their money and their shows and stuff for. So it's like I see why like you guys are gonna keep doing it, but it's not healthy and it's not something that should be reflected back and forth through the media. But it's like they're getting paid for all these things. Every stunt that they do, we see it here. We'll see it on the Zeus network. If you subscribe, we'll see it in all these other places. It's like a
trifecta.
It's a trifecta thing. You'll see it 3 times before, it actually does anything, but it's whatever. But
no, I was going to say it's the people around them. And it makes me sad because Blueface is surrounded by people who have been in the industry for a long time. Whack 100 is his manager. So if Whack 100 is your mentor, your guidance, why is he allowing this shit to happen? Like, why is he allowing this shit to play out? Because it's not cute. He's a woman beater. This is abusive.
Yeah.
What
is this doing?
They're actually both abusive. And I really wanted to make mention of that because I see a lot of people painting it as like a domestic violence situation solely on Blueface's end. Krishan is knocking his ass out too. That last red carpet, he had a black eye. So like she knocked out the mom and the sister. He knocked out the dad. No one in this situation is better than the other, but they're definitely no good for each other. And I think that's the topic. But definitely stop painting this narrative as men are the aggressor always. Krishan is whooping his ass more, if not equal amounts, as he's doing her.
I remember when I was working for a blog and we had to report on her breaking into the home and him trying to throw her out, and Whack 100 was there and she's like, I live here, and he thought it was cute. They thought it was cute and funny, but now it's escalated to this shit's not cute
at all. It's low-key scary.
It is watching a very tragic car crash about to happen.
Yeah.
We're just watching it, and it's just like, okay, we all know how this is gonna end, like how you said. So it's like, do they, or I just, my mind can't wrap my head around any of this and why it keeps happening, why that we keep covering it.
And now we give them a reality show so we can watch the abuse.
Exactly.
And it's I know the whistle will change if something goes left, because right now it's mixed reviews. There are people in the comment section that feel like us, and then there are people like, oh, but they love each other through and through, like you were saying. This is couple goals, etc.
Love.
But the minute this shit really goes south, and it's undeniably south, everyone's gonna be like, damn, like I knew this wasn't good. No. stay on the same bandwagon you've been riding through the destruction.
It's just like, why does it have to get there? Like, it doesn't have to get there.
It
And that's the
doesn't.
thing. It doesn't even have to get to that point where it is like, oh, now we have to like sit here and look at it differently because we're seeing exactly what's happening.
Mhm.
We're seeing what's happening. So it's like, I don't understand the other side. I really don't, because none of this is cute, fun. It's just nasty.
It gives me very much what Amy Winehouse was going through with her partner before she died.
Yes. Very toxic.
And they only saw it for each other. And it was like, everyone around them was like, you could not tell them anything bad about each other.
Yeah.
And then they broke up eventually, but Amy was struggling to cope and passed. And I don't know how well off her ex is doing, but he's still alive. So hopefully it doesn't get to that point. I'm not trying to manifest, but I do really want to paint a picture so that way, if nothing else, we as consumers understand our power in this situation. And us not supporting them is not going to make them break up. Until they're ready to, they're not going to. But we do not have to add kerosene to this inevitable fire.
Exactly.
Number 4. I don't know if we'll get through this before our next commercial break, but let's see what we can do. Regina Hall admits that she's never heard the Negro spiritual "Nuck If You Buck." I don't know how I missed it. That's a quote from her. Actress Regina Hall recently admitted on The Breakfast Club that she's never heard one of the most iconic Negro spirituals / Black national anthems, "Nuck If You Buck" by Crime Mob. The song was released back in 2004 and is heralded as a cultural touchstone. It feels like that time.
You know what it does? I don't know why I keep thinking like, never mind, keep reading
like
the
the
story.
20-teens.
Yeah.
No,
or like even older.
I would think older.
Yeah,
like
90s.
Like 90s. Yeah,
But
like
now I had
98.
to think about Crime Mob and Diamond, and them are like
they
not
were
as older than
babies
us.
at that time. Yeah, Diamond is probably like
35,
Yeah.
36.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
The song was released back in 2004 and is heralded as a cultural touchstone, if not something beyond it. Atlanta rap group Crime Mob had no idea that their 2004 single was going to be talked about for decades to come, much less be referred to as a Negro spiritual or Black national anthem. While promoting her new movie, Honk for Jesus, Regina Hall made an appearance on Power 105.1's The Breakfast Club and spoke with hosts Charlamagne the God and Angela Yee. As she sat in the hot seat, Regina was confronted by C the God, who claimed he was disappointed in her and her Honk for Jesus co-star Sterling K. Brown. Charlamagne the God said that he was stunned that neither one of them had known "Nuck If You Buck" prior to filming their movie, in which both actors are seen in a car reciting the song's infamous opening verses. We'll talk about this more after commercial break because I ain't gonna rush this story. Trying to compete for the last 5 seconds.
We'll be back.
Car reciting the song's infamous opening verses. We'll talk about this more after commercial break because I ain't gonna rush this story.
Oh, this is Rennie.
What up? Dover in the building. What's good, family? This is Jesse, and this is
Brown Wealth Radio. And make sure to catch us on TGN Latinx every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific, to be specific.
Is it time for a career change? Are you looking for that role that pours back into your city? Bright Star Schools is an organization that is dedicated to supporting their educators to grow their careers, serving students and families all around the Los Angeles area. Apply now. Bright Star Schools is offering sign-on bonuses from $5,000 to $7,500. Bright Star Schools is your next career move. So apply today. Visit www.bright.
And we are back. So we're currently on number 4, and we are talking about how Regina Hall and her co-host Sterling K. Brown were just introduced to the Black national anthem, "Nuck If You Buck." So where I left off, Charlemagne the God then asked Regina how long it took for her to learn the song. Charlemagne the God then asked Regina how long it took for her to learn the song so that she could perfectly recite it in her movie. Regina goes on to admit that she simply studied her verse alone and that it took her about 2 to 3 days to get the bars down pat. Princess of Crime Mob has since responded to the viral clip of Regina rapping her bars in her new movie. She took to Instagram and said, "My parents always said that we need to use our talents for the Lord. Hashtag Honk for Jesus was filmed on Flat Shoals Parkway in Decatur, Georgia at the Old Cathedral Church. Well known on the East Side, at Sterling K. Brown and at Regina Hall are rapping Nuck If You Buck. The movie airs the same weekend we did our first show. If you don't think God has a sense of humor, y'all go watch it in theaters and on Peacock TV." I love that. What are the odds that when they were filming this, that's when they did their performance? I love alignment. I love that. So the reason why I picked this story is because I wanted to ask you guys, what are some pieces of Black culture that you feel like everyone knows that you were either late to or just not interested in? A lot of it. I feel that.
A lot of it. I feel like I learned a lot of this, honestly, probably like when I came to like join Good News stuff. Like I feel like that's when I was exposed to a lot of things. So like I said, I went to a private institution, so it wasn't none of that, or if it was very minimal. And so coming out here and being exposed to all that, I was just like, oh, there's so many things.
Yeah.
But I was glad that I was able to catch up real quick and see things. But there are still some songs that I don't know. Like there's this one song that is played every single party.
Is it Dreams and Nightmares?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I have nightmares about those dreams. I can never understand. I'm just every time it happens, everyone does a thing, and I'm just like, and I just stand there. Maybe I'll wave if I catch eye contact, but it's that song, and so I don't know.
That's a new Negro anthem.
Yes,
that's
everyone knows it. I do not know it.
The crazy thing is, LA has nothing on New York when that song comes on, and I don't know if it's the proximity from Philly and New York. But when I tell you in New York, it gets low-key violent. Everyone in the establishment is going to have their flashlights on their phone and start jumping, screaming it. Like, it's the roughest. And we already have the reputation of being very rough. It is so rough. And for me personally, I don't like the song. It's not I don't like the song. It doesn't speak to me. I think it's a cool song lyrically. Like Meek Mill did his thing, but lyrically, it's nothing I want to learn to recite because I don't feel anything from it. But so many people are invested in it. I do not like Back That Ass Up.
Why?
Crazy, because when I was younger, I was obsessed with Back That Ass. Like it was my song, but then I became a Sigma.
And they always want you to start running when it comes on.
It's our stroll song. Okay. So you're hearing this at every function, even the ones that aren't for your organization, because they know that Sigmas are in attendance, Sigmas and Zetas, and they'll play it 2 to 3 times per function. Okay. So now it's this thing where it's like, it's not a twerk anthem for me anymore. I'm used to people shoving and basically strolling, skipping around in a circle. Okay. 3 times per function. Yeah. Especially in the summertime.
Oh, y'all play it too much. We one and done.
It's too much. I'm just like, I don't want to hear the song ever again. Like, if I never heard Back That Ass Up again, I would never ask for it.
I need that to always be playing.
Really?
At some point. It is a song for me. I'm like, as soon as I hear it, it starts moving. I will bend over. Yeah. Like
that used to be me.
That is.
You would look back at it.
Yes, that too. Yeah. Like,
I gotta ask. So
but look back at it hasn't been tainted by anybody.
True.
That's my gay song.
Yeah.
Like, is it be gay? That song and Blow by Beyonce.
That's a good one.
Oh, those two
that'll bring it out.
Yeah, that's a good
makes
one.
me a homosexual.
Absolutely. The gay is
I get
gay.
real homosexual when those songs come on. No, but to answer your question, I knew a lot of Black culture growing up because I was immersed in it, but I learned a lot more about other people's Black culture in college because I went to HBCU. But I still have not seen any of like the hood classics, like fully. I know references, but I have not seen like Menace to Society. I have not seen Boys in the Hood. I have not seen all of Higher Learning. I have not seen.
I just found out about Higher Learning not too long ago.
I still don't know what that is.
Higher Learning. Yeah, it's one of those real like black movies.
Okay.
Like it's like racist skinhead shoots up the school, kills this athlete. Tyra Banks is in it.
Was that Spike Lee too?
Oh,
I don't know if it's Spike Lee.
Is it Robert Townsend?
Maybe Robert Townsend. I don't think it's Spike Lee
because I don't think he has that many movie films other than
Robert
School
Townsend?
Days. No, Spike Lee. I don't think he
Spike
has like
Lee?
super school driven films.
Oh no, he doesn't. I would say don't give me on my Robert Townsend box because you know I love Robert Townsend.
It probably is him. I'm gonna check.
I love Robert Townsend.
Okay.
Do you know Robert Townsend? Okay.
You probably
Robert
do
Townsend.
and don't know
Have
that you know
seen
him.
5 Heartbeats?
no.
Oh,
I haven't
See,
either.
this is why this question
have you
is
seen
here.
Meteor Man?
No.
Oh, have
John
you seen
Singleton.
Hollywood Shuffle? John Singleton
No.
makes sense.
Ask me if I've seen Love Jones.
Have you seen Love
yet.
Jones?
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen Love and Basketball.
Have you seen Love and Basketball?
Yep.
Okay. So you seen the black films of the early 2000s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Or the late 90s or
Yeah.
2000s.
Uh-huh.
Homework.
I got
Please,
homework.
please watch
Seriously,
the-
and
you
I
can
will.
watch the 5 Heartbeats because that's one of my
Okay.
favorite movies.
Okay.
Did you watch Temptations?
Yeah. No. I watched Fighting Temptation.
You didn't watch the
Okay,
Temptations?
that's my movie.
You didn't watch the Temptations?
No.
That's actually a really good film.
I have homework to do. It's
really long.
okay.
But before you watch the Temptations, just watch the 5 Heartbeats.
Okay. Okay.
It's
I
one of my
will.
favorite movies.
Okay.
It's
All
a
right.
lot of singing. It's a lot of
Okay.
funny. It's a
Okay.
lot of it's a good story.
Okay.
Kelvin was supposed to give me a list because I haven't watched a lot of black films,
Mhm.
a lot of films in general, because I'm not a movie watcher. I'm a music
Okay.
listener. too.
Okay. Mhm.
But he was supposed to create a list for me of things that I had to have seen.
Okay.
Have you seen the 5 Heartbeats yet?
No,
That's your first homework.
you didn't even give me the list.
Both y'all. Well,
5
start
Heartbeats,
off
okay.
now.
I was
Homework,
searching.
5 Heartbeats.
I searched
Okay.
Roku, but all the
It's not on
platforms
Roku.
in which it
It's not on Roku. I think you can. I think it may be on Apple TV now. I think it may be on Apple TV.
I'm gonna fucking Apple TV.
Well, damn. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm gonna look
I'm
online
about-
and
I'ma
find it.
Yeah,
Okay.
look online and
But-
find it. It's a good, such a classic movie.
Okay. Okay.
I just rewatched Players Club in full
I like
like a
Players
month
Club.
ago.
That's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Fun movie.
Civil Brand.
Fun movie.
It's a lot of quotables, and I love it because I knew the references, but I didn't understand them,
Uh-huh.
and now I'm like,
So that's
you
where
know,
it is.
Being out here, there's a lot of West Coast music that I don't know, and that
Mhm.
everyone out here seems to really love.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that coastal things like that, like West Coast, really stays like in their own hub because they don't know a lot of the East Coast or Midwest songs.
mm-mm.
And
And
like
the same.
East Coast, Midwest, and the South all just like come together and know
Yeah.
all this stuff. And then once you cross past like Chicago on this way, it's all just
West.
nothing.
Yeah.
And then Cali's right here, so they don't even know what's happening on the other side because they be playing all that jumping jack music, and I'll be like, "Why are y'all jumping
And
and
like the
jacking?"
DJ
and, like,
Quicks
what is
and
going on?
stuff.
And I'm like, "Can we play something else? Like this is they all sound the same. Fight me. They all sound the same.
Woo!
And I can you play something else?
Yeah.
I've grown to love it. Mostly the older stuff. Like I love DJ Quick.
Okay.
I've always loved Snoop Dogg.
Mhm.
I'm into Sugar Free.
Okay.
Exhibit I've known, but not musically, like not that deep.
Mhm.
So there are some
Hit My
really
Ride
good-
Exhibit has music.
He was doing that first. He was pretty much like in the era of Ice Cube and them. So like I didn't know that, but it's true. Like the East Side knows more of other people's music.
You mean to tell me
You didn't know he was a rapper?
turning a Honda into a swimming pool
Mm-hmm.
exhibit
Mm-hmm.
has music?
Yes. A whole music career. Like maybe 2-3 albums.
2 to 3?
That was his thing.
No, it wasn't. His thing was
Pimp
pimping
My
rides.
Ride. He wasn't even pimping the damn ride. He was standing there laughing at the car and then aiding them on the process.
I gotta look this up. I don't believe
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
I'm going to Apple Music.
I have like 3 Exhibit songs. on
You
my phone that
have
I
his
follow.
music?
Actually, shout out to DC. He sent me this one song from Exhibit. It's called DNA. Bumps.
Okay.
Bumps.
He has a whole artist page. He made a song in April.
I didn't know that.
Still an artist.
Still an artist.
Still an artist.
Well, Pimp My Ride stopped, so money has to keep coming.
Exactly.
You know,
gotta just switch it up.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Go
But
back.
yes, Exhibit is a rapper.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
He was signed like to like Dr. Dre and them. That was his camp.
I don't know why I speak sometimes.
No, we need you to speak.
You're
You're revealing information that was unknown. Had
I
you not
told you
said
he was with
nothing-
Ice Cube and them. I don't think he was NWA, but he was in that time. You're welcome, Exhibit. If you see this, still keeping your legacy going. Number 5.
Number 5.
I can't even say it. I am shooketh.
Well, we got 16 minutes in this segment.
Go ahead, because I'm sorry. I'm just shook. Go ahead.
It's definitely going to be our shut the fuck up because this is wild to me.
Well, yeah, to me too. Shut the fuck up.
The fuck up.
Teenage human trafficking victim Piper Lewis ordered to pay $150,000 in restitution to the family of a rapist who she fatally stabbed.
What?
Iowa teen Piper Lewis, a 17-year-old human trafficking victim, has been sentenced to 5 years of supervised probation and was ordered to pay $150,000 in restitution to the family of the man who raped her. According to NPR, Lewis was initially charged with first-degree murder for fatally stabbing her accused rapist, 37-year-old Zachary Brooks, back in June 2020. Her sentence for that charge has been deferred in exchange for probation and a mandatory restitution payment under Iowa state law. Despite the gruesome nature of the case, Polk County Judge David M. Porter said, "This court is presented with no other option as it pertains to the whopping $150,000 payment." Officials say that Piper Lewis was 15 when she stabbed Brooks to death for taking part in a sex trafficking ring she was forced into. At the time, Lewis was reportedly a runaway who was seeking to escape an abusive life with her adopted mother and was sleeping in the hallways of Des Moines' apartment building when a 28-year-old man took her in before forcibly trafficking her to other men for sex. Prior to her sentencing, Piper read a prepared statement to those in the courtroom stating, "My spirit has been burned, but still glows through the flames. Hear me roar, see me glow, and watch me grow. I am a survivor."
Okay, Maya.
Right? Okay, she spoke through her for that one. Despite the facts of the case, prosecutors disagree with Piper Lewis being a victim and say that she did not intend to take a person's life, regardless of how she was treated. "I took a person's life. My intentions that day were not to just gob out and take somebody's life. In my mind, I felt that I wasn't safe, and I felt I was in danger, which resulted in the acts, but it doesn't take away from the fact that a crime was committed. Folks on social media have already started campaigns asking that Piper be granted clemency in this case."
She should.
Yeah.
I mean, she should be fine at this point because the GoFundMe was started, and I think she raised over $300,000, which is more than half of what she owed. But the fact that she had
She
to
still had to
pay
pay it. Like,
after
are you
being
serious?
caught in a trafficking ring, Iowa and our country is fucked.
Fully.
How do you guys feel about this situation? I don't know if you read it on your own. What were your initial thoughts?
I hated it. Just because it is true, it's just like this whole traumatic experience happened to her. She was in a whole sex trafficking ring. She took someone's life. That's a lot in your own, like, having to deal with that personally. To then have to turn around and then pay for that too. Like, how is that? How did y'all even feel comfortable charging her money? Like, I don't even understand how that works. I know the government and the laws, and it's all bullshit a lot of times, but it will never make sense to me how these things happen and how these things just get greenlit to go forward. Like, this makes no sense. You guys saw the case. You guys saw all the stuff that was presented and still was like, we're going to charge her. We have to. For what reason? And them saying like, oh, well, we can't break those rules. That's just Iowa law. What? Like that? What? You saw everything that just happened. I'm so confused. I don't. Yeah. Disturbing.
And then she has to pay it towards the family of the man who was probably raping her.
Yeah, exactly.
So now she has to pay for being a victim.
Exactly.
Which makes no sense unto me. Like, what? Like, how did it even come about? Did the family sue? Were they upset? Like, I don't get that. That makes no sense to me.
Iowa state law
says that if you kill somebody, you have to pay the family.
I guess so.
Even under these circumstances?
That's what they said.
What's their laws against sex trafficking?
Right. And a ring at that. Like,
I don't know.
I say this
multiple
almost every
people.
show, and I know y'all probably tired of me saying this. This is why you got to vote. This is why you have to vote in your state and local elections, because there's no way in hell there should be a law that protects someone who rapes somebody but does not protect the raper, the rapee, the victim. There's no way impossible. There's no way that the person who raped the person has more rights than the person who was raped.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All of this don't make
vote.
sense.
I'm glad that she doesn't have to come out of pocket and handle this. Shout out to everyone who donated, but like the fact that there even needed to be a GoFundMe.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, and that's the root of the issue. It's like, why did there have to be a GoFundMe? Why did this have to like come out and we all have to put in this to make sure this happened? Yeah, she's taking care of him. We're all like thankful for that. But the root of that is like it shouldn't have happened at all.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason why she should have to pay anything.
Yeah.
If anything, she should be paid. Like, you know, like she should be getting some money to help her set up a new life.
Right.
Like, you know, for all that she just went through.
And not by way of the family, because that's not their responsibility. But definitely some government assistance should be helping her. Like,
something.
I don't understand. Oh, Simone's been going off in the comments. She's talking about the Jackson 5 movies.
Okay, yeah, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Okay, so she said this here.
She said, it's so many black movies I haven't seen. LOL. Safe
my
space.
goodness.
Safe space. Okay, you haven't seen the 5 Heartbeats. I'm judging at this point because they play it 5 times a week, probably on BET.
And it's one of my favorite movies
Probably
in
on
the
BET.
whole wide world.
I don't have BT.
Then she asked if you have seen the Jackson 5 movie, which I personally have not watched in full because it's long.
You haven't seen?
I have seen
Rae.
Please, y'all, don't come fully. Okay, there is one movie I can't even the new edition. I saw that.
Yes.
Okay. Does that
Very new
count?
age black cinema.
Yeah.
Then she also said, it was a surprise to me when New York people have never heard the East Siders from Long Beach.
I've never heard of them ever.
We don't get West Coast music.
Who is? Why are they called the East Siders? Are they from the East Side of Long Beach?
Probably. But yeah, we don't get.
Who is that?
The only West Coast music we got was Tupac and them.
Snoop Dogg,
obviously. E40. Maybe Too Short.
Yeah, maybe Too Short.
And then the New Boys.
Yeah, you're a jerk.
That's where it stopped. Oh, YG too, because my nigga.
Like
YG.
Yeah, but that and barely Nipsey.
No, I didn't find out about Nipsey.
I didn't find out Nipsey until he's passed.
Yeah.
Did not know any of his music. It's okay.
Safe space.
It's a safe space.
Safe space.
Very safe space. If Chris was here, he'll have a whole nother thing to say. But we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it right there. All right. And that was all for bitch.
Bitch.
You better read.
You better read.
What's my favorite word?
It was
I don't know why that came out.
I was here for the improv of it. Now it's time for the topic. Let's get to know Rae.
You think Harriet Tubman was walking around with a fucking nice, shiny fucking dress on with a fucking crown on her head when she was taking slaves to freedom?
Okay. Yeah, we wanted to switch it up. Like Flashing Lights was cool, but it's something about the energy of you think Harriet Tubman was doing this, and this when she was taking slaves?
Yep.
Boom. To freedom. Sometimes I feel like that on the daily. Absolutely.
I hear that.
Okay.
Hi.
So we spoke briefly about you earlier. We spoke about your photography. We spoke about you being a brand ambassador, your fitness journey. So how do you identify as a content creator? When people ask you what it is that you do, what's the first thing that you say?
I say content creator. I say like that's what I do. It's the one like word that encompasses everything that I do. I would say I'm a body positive content creator.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, what is that? What is a body positive content creator?
So for me, it's a little. That's why I'm like it's a little subsectory because there's a lot of different things that I do. But I would say like brand wise, if it's just like if you're looking at the content I'm creation for like other brands and like the fitness things and like the brand ambassador, it's body positive because I'm a plus size woman and I wear like really cute clothes and I'm confident in my size and I want other people to be inspired and confident in their size. And so that's where like that body positivity comes from in that sense. So I would say like that's what I have to like check, the body positive content creator. But in the other sides of like the photography and the design and like the graphics and all that kind of stuff, I would just say like I'm an artist. Like that's just where I am with that. I just love creating art for people and for myself. And so it's just all encompassing under the umbrella of content creator. Yeah.
Before we get into the other sectors of your creativity, how did you, I imagine that being a body positive content creator led you to being a brand ambassador.
Yeah.
So how did that happen for you? Was it a thing where you were like getting clothes, taking cute pictures and reels and TikToks and then just tagging the companies and then they saw and were like, let's send you some stuff? Or like, how did that happen in case someone wants to get involved in something like that?
So that's exactly how it happened. So I feel like I was always maybe not as like consistent as I was now, if this is consistently, but I was always just taking clothes pictures. Like I just like fashion. I like putting on clothes. I like wearing different colors. I like making different things and taking different outfits and kind of switching them up. And I've always done that. And so just the pictures, it was just posting them and then tagging the brands or whatever, using hashtags, and then people would just start noticing. Like, but even like in the streets, like it was like people would notice like what I was wearing, and I was always like being asked and stuff. So this is just like now social media is now asking as well. And so yeah, and then one day Tor was like the first like official brand that I ended up working with, and I think I wore shorts to Disneyland. That's how that started. I wore like some, they were thigh shorts, like you could see my thighs and everything in a yellow top, and I just was like, I'm gonna wear shorts because it's hot as hell, and like why would I not wear shorts to Disneyland? And I wore the shorts, and then I posted a picture, and then that kind of that went like mini viral, and I I tagged Tord in it, and so then they saw it and was like, we would love to work with you. That's how I got my first brand deal with them. And then that's how that went from there. And I was just like, okay, we could do this. Like, I'm like, if it's just putting on clothes, I put on clothes. So yeah, so then from there it was just like, okay, well, what am I wearing? And making sure I tag the people who I'm wearing, and then not just like so they can see it, but so the people who follow me can see it too. Because I'm like, I get these clothes from the same place you can get these clothes. And so just making sure that everyone is aware, so it's not like a gatekeeping fashion. It's just like you could have this as well. And if you look like me or you don't look like me, like you could wear exactly what I'm putting on. So
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I know. And I always say like your name is so fitting. Because you are literally a ray of sunshine. Every time you're around, you just scream love. And I appreciate that. And I want to ask you a question, like, because for a lot of people, they don't have that type of confidence. They don't have that type of love sharing and things like that. And like, even though you met the moment with that, like leading up to that moment, like how was that? Like saying like, you know what, this is what I want to wear, and I'm gonna fucking wear this. Because even me, I'll be like, I don't know if I should put this on. I'm not putting that on. I don't feel like wearing this. I don't feel like wearing that. Where were you at? Like, you're like, you know what, this is what I want to wear, and this is what I'm gonna wear.
I've been fat my whole life, so I feel like it has been there. Like, I feel like I have to learn that lesson very young of like, what I put on my body is gonna look different on my body. Whether it's a black t-shirt, whether it's a plastic bag, whether it's whatever, whatever they want me to wear, it's not gonna look the same. And I would even like try like to go shopping with like my friends and stuff at malls. And back in then there was never any like size inclusivity or anything like that. So it was always me trying to figure out like what I'm gonna put on my body, and trying to figure out like, well, how can I make this work for my style? And again, like back in the day, a few years ago, like, there wasn't a lot of options, and so I had to get real creative with what I want. And it just came down to a thing of like, why would I stop me from expressing what I would like to be wearing just because people don't like it, or because it may not look like how you would like it to look on my body, which is weird because it's just like, what I wear on this body, you don't have to wear on your body. You don't have to do that.
Absolutely.
You can stay over there. Look dusty, crusty. Like, if that's what you want to do. But me, I have to channel it. Like, I have to be creative in what I'm putting on my body because I'm a creative person. Whether that be like bright colors or anything, like, I don't know. I just felt like there were never a lot of options. And now that there are, like, I'm taking all the options. Like, I will wear exactly what I want to wear because I don't know.
Stop you?
Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? I don't understand who's gonna stop me. And I think like now it's like, I definitely can't stop me. I'm gonna do whatever I want. And so it kind of came from that. But I hope that answered the question. I feel like
the question.
Did it? Okay.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah.
So I also want to get into your photography because both Kelvin and I have been photographed by you.
Yes. She's the bestest.
Yes.
So if you're ever looking for great quality photos and great conceptual photos, Rae is your girl. So first off, what is the name of your photography company and brand?
Yes. Okay. So it is called The Candid X.
Okay.
We are rebranding.
Really?
I am stepping into my actual name. So yeah. So we are currently rebranding to Rae Bell.
I love
and
that.
We're fully just taking it on. But yeah, so you guys will see this within the next few weeks of all of that. I was like, I don't know how to really explain like how that will taking place. But I wanted to mention both because it is called the Candid X in case you guys look it up right now.
Right.
But it will be changing into my actual name.
I love that. I did that with my branding. I was Kelvinology for a very long time. Like, why the hell am I Kelvinology?
Yeah,
you were.
Kelvin Unique.
Yeah, exactly. This is me. You're working with me when you come and see me, and so I wanted to make sure that like this is my little signature at the bottom. But yeah.
Now, how did you get started in photography?
Ooh, okay. I've always been around photos like my whole life. So my dad and my dad's family were both very like photography technology people. Even like in my grandmother's house currently, you walk in and there's pictures all over the wall from like every moment they've ever shared. And then me and my dad, like we would always like just go to like different places like Fry's or like just like computer places. He was a very technical person, so he always brought me along with it. And so he actually introduced me into like photography and tech. And so then in high school, I joined the yearbook, and that yearbook. Yeah, I was like yearbook up, and that was like my first taste in like shooting for other people. And I didn't like it. I'll be honest, I didn't really care for that at the time, but it did expose me to that, and I got to learn like a different side of photography. And then I just was like, you know what, I kind of just want to do photography like nature-based landscape. So I would just kind of take my camera and just go traveling and take pictures and stuff like that. And then in college, I was still doing that as a hobby. And then one day someone was like, you know, there's money in like portraits. And I was like, I don't care about the money.
I'm an artist.
I'm an artist. I don't care about it. Like, blah, blah, blah. And so then someone was like, well, can you take my senior photos? And I was like, sure, I'll take your senior photos. And we went to like Disneyland that day, and I was able to really capture them in their essence and them in their natural habitat, and was able to direct them and really like capture that moment for them. And that's kind of where I fell in love with the portrait side of it, of being able to be like, wow, like I get to freeze this time for you. I get to freeze this moment, who you are in this moment, who you are, who you're trying to be, who you want to be. Like I get to like share this with you and then give it back to you. And so that's kind of how that kind of started. And then after that, I was like, I love this so much. I love being able to talk to people and create with people, and people share like, you know, their visions, and then I help them bring it to life. That's like my heart's passion.
Hey, StreamYard. So we're currently on an audio commercial break. We'll be right back. I saw getting down with you on a roll. I was like, fuck. I was like, we'll pick back up. I love that. That's so exciting. I was gonna get together with you because remember I told you about my Halloween idea.
Oh yeah, I've been looking, like it's still coming up on my feet. The honey, like.
Okay. When I tell you financially, if I have $10 at this point,
it's okay if you still want to shoot it.
I do want to shoot it, but I can't pay what I should pay. That's the thing.
Okay, I know you personally. So if you still want to make this happen, I still want this happen for you. So.
You ain't said shit but a word.
Yep. So
right,
just we could do this.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
But you have no idea. This Halloween photo shoot I'm doing with Rae is so sexy.
Awesome. I do boudoir too, so it's okay.
Huh?
I do boudoir as well, so
okay.
Ain't nothing but a thing.
Calvin's just looking at me like he wants to be part of it.
You want to put some honey on you? Let's get some honey on you.
I was saying to do it for my birthday shoot.
Let's do it.
Are you doing one? I know last year you probably did.
Okay. Hey.
Yes.
Okay.
I wrote my part. How you write the parts of the song? You even know the song is about? I do. What's my part? It's Make It Last Forever. Keep sweating. We're doing that song? Yes. I played it for you. Oh, yes, you did. So I need to write my part. The hook. Yeah. Okay.
I love this.
Because I know I be telling Kelvin shit, and I'm like,
you're like, I definitely bitch it.
I know.
And we are back. You are listening to the Get Right Radio Show. And we are currently getting to know Rae. And Ray's talking to us about her photography journey. So you fell in love with portraits once you did the shoot at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And now here we are. You've shot, how many photo shoots would you say you've done since establishing this brand?
Oh.
You can do a rough estimate.
Ooh.
I don't expect anyone to know now.
Oh my God. Maybe we're almost at 100 or something. Like with just every single thing that I've shot, I think we may be at the 100.
I wouldn't be shocked because you've been
like
doing
that.
this like, I've known you to be doing this for like 3 years. You did my last 3 birthday photo shoots when I did makeup for the first time, when I had platinum hair, this brown, and then what is it, American Apparel type shoot. So like,
something like I've been doing it. So if we count college, I've been doing it since maybe 2016, 2017. And then I officially started my business in 2018. So I believe I just celebrated like a 5-year anniversary type thing. I remember when it came and I was just like, oh, okay, cool.
You've been doing that as long as we've been doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, and I shoot a lot of things. So that's why I'm like all encompassing, not just portraits, like from events, portraits. I also did like I used to shoot at a church, like all of their events and stuff. So yeah, I've done a lot of shoots. So but I love it each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sickening. I love the fact that you can run a camera because once I had my camera, obviously for video purposes, people were like, oh, you could take pictures and stuff. And I'm like, photography is an art form.
It's a totally different thing.
You have to study it. There are skills behind it.
And
Just
math.
because I have a camera does not make me a photographer.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of math and a lot of just like different formulas, like with the ISOs and coming down and and like aperture and just all of that in the camera. And then you take it out the camera for like post, and there's a whole bunch of other things. And it's a creative process the whole time, but it is a lot of like different things.
It's a lot of moving parts.
It is a lot of moving parts.
That's why I'm like, do not call me a photographer. I have not put in the effort. I don't have the I have the capabilities. I don't have the drive to study it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I'm not a photographer. I have a camera. So I respect that.
Thank you.
And I love it because I've worked with you twice. I worked with you for the first part of the launch of Stick Figure, and now working with you now with the rebranding of Stick Figure. I can't wait for everybody to see the new stuff.
So amazing.
Well, I don't have a hat on that. All the new stuff, because the new stuff is really fun.
It
I think it's fun.
I think it's amazing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think they're kind of cool. Yes.
I wore the hat like a few times last week, but I was just like, I love it. Like the embeddedness of the, it's so good.
It's like quality.
It's so quality.
That makes me happy.
It makes my heart happy.
Everyone that's been wearing them is really excited about it. But I only trusted you to help bring that vision to life because I know that you can do those things. So like when you do photography and you sit down with this creative process, how does that go? Because I know even like with me and with Eric, like everything is different.
Yeah.
So do you usually just go like, okay, what does the client want? It's like, oh, I think this would be best for the client, or like, how do you do it?
So for the most part, after like people like contact me and they're like, hey, we want to shoot, I always do like a consult first, just so I can kind of hear what the vision is from you. And we'll sit down, maybe it's like 20-30 minutes of just kind of talking through it, and I really just want to hear everything that you've thought about, and then for me it's just connecting the dots of how to get there. So it's like, okay, so let's say you're like, oh, I want something super colorful or super sexy or super this. I'm looking at all of those different elements, and I'm thinking of color schemes, and I'm thinking of how these different things can go together. I'm thinking of backdrops, and I'm thinking of like, well, what kind of lens should we use for this? Should we do like more close-up shots, back shots, like, you know, like shots? It's just like, should we do all different types of things?
We love it.
You know, I'm in that process, it's just connecting the dots. Like really, that's what it is. And I'm sitting there and I'm writing everything down, and then I sit with it for a little bit, and I kind of like conceptualize it, and then I like feed it back, and I'm just like, okay, like, well, based off what you guys have said, like, this is what I think could happen, and this is how we can bring this together. And most times it's received pretty well. And then we create it, and it's beautiful, and it's a fun process. And I get to be creative. You guys get to be creative.
Yeah.
And then
I love all that.
It makes my heart happy.
Rae is the most comfortable photographer to work with because I go into a lot of those like with slight idea on what I'm going to do. But for the most part, it's very much guided and felt throughout the process. I enjoyed it, especially my birthday photo shoot. Like that was fun. And now you've been doing it at your home,
Yeah.
which is a really big space.
Thank you.
And you get
Beautiful
really
studio space.
intricate with the set design. So
I do.
it's a great experience.
Thank you. I wanted to have like a space that I could manipulate like a lot of times. So you were there for like the last studio.
I remember that.
So when I like first like was like, okay, I'm gonna fully go into this, I had a studio in Lakewood. And it was just like cute little office that I would just like kind of do all my work out of and then just have like this little small space to be able to do the same thing. But I knew I wanted more room to be able to create like different elements to bring in like bigger pieces, couches, or all these things. And so when I saw like the space that I live in now and it had that big like downstairs area, I was like, okay, this is my studio. Like and now I get to actually do like the creative shots. I get to do the full body things and I get to like use all the different backdrops and bring in all the different props and kind of make it my own. So it's a special place, really.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
Makes
love
my
that.
heart happy.
Yes. Okay. So tell the people how they can request your services.
Yeah. So right now my request form is in the link in my bio. So on my Instagram. Yeah, you just go there and you just say, let's make magic. And it's like a little link and you just click it and then it'll send me a direct form to my email. And then we can go from there. Or you can send me a DM on my Instagram if you're interested. We can work together.
I love it.
Yeah.
Everything is very simple.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Boom,
okay.
boom, boom. Just a few clicks.
Yes.
Yeah, we can get there.
So if y'all need these quality pictures, y'all know who to hit up and say the Get Right sent you. Okay.
Definitely.
We love a good referral.
Yes.
All right. And that was all for the topic.
Yes.
Queens don't.
For a minute, it sounded like porn.
Yeah, I was like, what are we listening to? I was like, we just talked about the back shots, but here we go.
Right.
All right. Like, if that's what we doing.
Kelvin, what did I tell you about recording yourself and making sound effects?
My bad.
We'll never get taken seriously like this.
Never.
Child, it's time for the question of the day.
Question.
Today's question of the day is, Kelvin, why would you record yourself giving back shots? And
Sometimes it needs to be recorded. Sometimes you need to hear it back.
OnlyFans has to pop somehow,
Right.
okay?
You sneaky bitch.
It's gotta pop some way, somehow.
Christian, I ain't got nothing on you.
Okay? No, the question of the day is, what questions do you hate being asked the most?
Oh, wow, I need to think.
Yeah, me too. I love questions. So that's a hard one because I actually really enjoy questions. I would rather people ask me questions than me just like sitting there talking freely. So I don't even know if there is a question that I hate being asked.
And it's in our line of work. So like I prefer being on the receiving end of questions as opposed to always having to ask them, because then I feel like I'm always thinking, even though naturally you're supposed to let the conversation flow, I don't like to be stumped. So I'm always kind of just like,
let me rephrase it.
Yeah.
On a date, what questions do you hate being asked on a date?
On a date.
I don't like being asked about my sexual position, like top, bottom, verse. I think that that's very, it's low hanging fruit, and I think it's limiting. Also, I don't think that we need to lead with sex. I mean, if it happens organically and the conversation seems like a natural flow there, then okay, cool. But like out the gate, I'm like, did you come into this wanting nothing else?
Yeah.
You know, that's the first thing I can think of. As we talk more, maybe some more things will come to mind. What about you?
I hate people asking if my name is real, if that's my real name.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone's like, is Kelvin Unique like your real name? Like, that's really like your real name? No, I think I made it up. Yes, it's my real name. It's my birth name. Also hate being asked about work on the first date. You can ask what I do, but I don't want to have like a full work conversation. I hate that. That it seems really pretentious to me. Like, get to know me.
What if you two are in the same industry and that's where the questions are coming from?
Well, that's different. But like if someone, like, for instance, like when I used to work at HU, I was like, oh, I work for HU, and then the conversation flips. Oh, so how's it working with this person? How's this person? How's that person? And it's less about me and us, and it's about all that other stuff. That's annoying to me. That's super annoying. Yeah.
I like all questions. I'm still there because I really do. I'm like, ask the questions. I don't think they're, maybe I'm not annoyed by questions because I would like them. I want people to ask more questions. And so I'm like, ask the question if you need to ask it, and I will answer it the way I need to answer it. And so it's never been a repetitive thing of like, this they ask this the same time, I'm like, ask it. This is how I know you're trying to get to know something. So yeah, I'm not like I like questions. Ask a lot of questions. I'm gonna ask a lot of questions.
See, I like people asking questions.
Yeah.
Some questions is like, why? Like, I don't like the sexual preference. My friends always talk about me because I never ask that question. I feel like that's invasive. If you want to tell me that, then you can. But if you don't, then why am I asking?
And who's to say we're having sex? You may not ever know.
Yeah.
True.
I also, this one isn't a question that annoys me. It's if I'm on a date with a person that I'm not interested in that much. What's your type? Because if I run it down, you're gonna be like, "Why are you here with me?" And I'm like,
that's also a hard question. I can never answer that question.
Yeah.
Somebody, what's your type? I like people in themselves. I like people who are comfortable in their skin. I love people who, I guess, who dress well. I like have nice shoes. You ain't got to be a sneakerhead, but have nice shoes. Like, and I feel like that's like superficial, and I don't want to get into that because then people are like, oh, is he like thirsty, like money hungry? Like, no, I just like you to look well when you go out.
Look good.
But that's why they have to ask more questions so that way you understand that I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got to ask the right question.
What's your type? I don't know, nerdy. Read a book.
A pulse.
Right. Not a pulse. Good child. We are just opening it for everybody.
Are you breathing?
Are you breathing?
That's interesting. On my next date, I'm gonna keep mental notes. Like, what was asked that got on my nerves?
Like, why they asked me that?
Yeah.
What was asked that I really enjoyed? I like when people ask me like, what's my end goal? I'm like, oh, you think
like
long
that,
term?
Yeah, I like that.
It's telling.
I like questions that like make me think or make you have like more conversations. Like now we're literally talking for like a good amount of time. Like, I think I was talking to Keith like a few weeks ago about like wins and small wins and big wins. And so now I've been asking everyone like, what are your big wins? What are your small wins? Like, what is it? Like, how do you differentiate the two? And that's been like such a very fun question to ask. Like, on dates, because I'm just like, how do you perceive this? It's a really fun thing.
I'm going to start using that too.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It's fun because you really get to see like people's priorities, and then everything's different and everybody is different. And so it's really fun to see that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh boy, that today.
Oh yeah, good. Well, I mean, yeah. If he's watching this episode, then he already knows he's hip to your game.
What are your wins?
Okay, I don't know if it had to be so rough. Did you want to crack a glass after that too?
Stop.
What are they?
I know, baby. Winning.
This is the dreams and nightmares approach. It's very rough. It's very in your face.
This is a big win.
True.
Go off.
True.
Would you like us to leave the room as you speak? And that was all for the question of the day.
Question.
Now it's time for If I Told You That. Today's If I Told You That is, if you could be a character in two of your favorite movies, which movies would you choose
I've never
to be
seen
in?
movies, so how would y'all?
I meant to.
I've seen movies, okay? Just not all of the movies.
Thank you. Right.
Like, there is still a good Rolodex of films in my back pocket. Just not all of them.
Okay.
But I am always willing to see another film.
Okay.
Chill.
Right. Thank you. Moral of the story, chill.
Okay.
One movie I've always wanted to be in is Charlie's Angels.
Oh, you want to be an angel?
They were so sexy and unique in their own way. And I love that story of like women empowerment, even though I'm not. But like it was still something about the strength behind that.
Yeah.
So that's the first movie. I forgot the second one because I had it in my head. So as it goes around, if it pops back up, I'll say it.
Yeah. I have one. So we'll like go around. So I'll get a second one. But it'll probably be like Nina from Love Jones. I feel like that movie is like an embodiment of all my creativeness in one film. And so like she's a photographer. She also writes, like, she's also like singdarius and like all these things. And it's just so beautifully done, I think. And so I would be like, yeah, that would be cool. Also, I still want to go to that Chicago poetry place. So the Sanctuary, it's not a real place, but if it could be, I'd be there.
Yeah, they probably have something similar to it.
Yeah, I want to find one out here in LA. I feel like they should have something.
They
like
have.
that.
We definitely
have these poetry slam thing that I've seen them on the Instagram. The kids. I've seen the ads. And it's like, I want to go to this. So I have to find out where it is. So next time I see it, I'm like, here, I'm gonna send it to you.
Please do, because I want to see something.
I see it all the time on my feed.
Yeah,
but now I just hit all my sponsored ads, so now I probably won't see it.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
There's that. Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
Oh, if I could be a character in any movie, I would want to be in The Wiz, but I think I would want to live in Oz. I don't know if I want to be a specific character because they all have lots of flaws.
Yeah.
But I think I would want to live in Oz so I can just dance and change colors. I feel like that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just all day.
A lot of singing.
They don't eat.
A lot
They
of
just-
dancing.
They don't eat. Use the restroom. They
No.
don't do nothing. They just dance and change colors.
Always at the club.
Always at the club. Life of the party. Life is a party.
Life is a party. I had a second film and it's just not coming to me. What is it? Oh God. Because there are certain films that I like. Like Miss Congeniality is one of my favorite
I
films.
just watched that again like a few days ago.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It's a good movie.
But I'm like, I don't want to be a pageant contestant. I could do that in real life. But like,
describe the perfect
right? It was that movie. Coyote Ugly. Coyote Ugly.
Oh, Coyote
down
Ugly.
on the bar.
Yes. Oh,
I see that for you.
that is so good.
That was what my birthday was inspired by. But when I went to Texas Roadhouse, that
is a good movie.
You went to Texas Roadhouse.
Not Texas Roadhouse. What is it?
Saddle
You went to
Ranch.
Saddle Ranch.
Saddle Ranch. I'm still in the East. Sorry.
Texas Roadhouse.
Saddle Ranch.
I was out of town. I'm mad I missed it.
It's okay. Life.
Yeah.
Life. But yeah, so I love Coyote Ugly. I would love to be on the bar, getting it in, and spraying people with
Dancing.
water.
Can't fight the moonlight on your balcony, just going ham.
Yep.
Oh, that's such a good film.
I love that movie.
I'm just gonna say my second other favorite film. I don't necessarily know if it's a reason that I would want to be this character, but probably a Transformer. Yeah.
Thinking outside the box.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if it would either be Optimus Prime or Bumblebee.
Ooh.
But yeah, that's just my second favorite movie. And
Both are iconic.
They are.
Yeah.
And to be a robot for a little bit, like, you know, to be a car and then transform into another car. You know?
Right.
Sounds fun.
I don't know.
I think I'll just do my other favorite movie. 5 Heartbeats. I would want to be I don't know. Some of them had drug problems. I don't know. Let me think.
I'm about to say
I want to be Duck. I want to be Duck because he had a good, successful life.
Okay.
Who was Duck in that film?
Well, when you watch the film, do your homework. Duck was the songwriter. He was the composer. He came up with all the good songs.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
5 Heartbeats.
5 Heartbeats.
We will be adding it to the list.
Please.
I've always wanted to see it because I love
Yeah.
the Temptations, and I'm like,
I
this
got
is probably
nothing but love for you,
just like it.
baby.
But it's not real.
got
I
nothing
thought it was
but
real.
love.
It's not real.
It's not real. It's loosely based off like the Dales. Some of the other characters like based off like Jackie Wilson, but it's like loosely. So like it's not their story, but it's like he pulls from like other
People's stories to make one big story. Got it. Okay.
It's so good.
I'm gonna watch it.
I trust that it's a great
Yeah.
movie. I've actively been searching it, and I get notifications on Roku. Like whenever one of the streaming platforms posts it, they'll notify me, but they haven't.
Oh man.
And I'm not paying $3.99 unnecessarily.
Man, I'm gonna have to just send you $5.
I can get it online for bootleg. I just wanted to watch it on my TV, and I didn't have an HDMI, so I was like, if it's not on the TV, it's not giving me the full theater effect.
True.
I'm very complex in my movie watching.
No, it's important how you consume it.
You know?
Especially if it's like a movie you haven't seen for the first time. Like I'm not trying to watch this on my computer.
No, it's too small.
Yeah,
You
and
miss like certain
See if I can
details.
find that on DVD.
Yeah. See?
Right? Come on,
Exactly.
DVD.
Yeah. I
Or
still have a
VHS.
DVD player.
I don't have
Well,
VHS,
I
but
don't know
it's-
how I would play it on the VHS.
It's just iconic.
At least on my computer, I can like.
Sidebar before we get into uniquely speaking, VHSs are apparently going for like 4,000.
What?
Like the VHS players, because it's vintage now, so like they're treating it like that. I heard that. I don't know across the board if all of them cost that much, but like to get your hands on one now, you gotta pay. Vintage.
My mom has one at home.
Right. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's one. in that
Cherish it.
garage.
Cherish it.
Box that up, y'all.
All that stuff that you think is obsolete. I mean, it is obsolete, but like doesn't have value. Hold on to it. Nostalgia always comes back.
It's always coming back. Right now we're in our Y2K.
Mhm.
I just found a whole bunch of magazines. When I was a kid, I used to collect magazines, like all of my Cosmos and like
Come on, Cosmo.
17, and like all of those magazines. And like I have a whole bucket full of like from 2007 to I want to say like maybe 2010 or 2016, 18, something like that. It's like maybe like a good 5-6 years of like magazines. And going through them, it's like same thing that's happening right now.
Wow.
Like, and I'm just like, oh, this needs to be a TikTok series because
yeah,
we're just gonna flip through them because it's a lot.
It's an idea. Hold on to it.
Here we go.
It is.
Hold
You'll
on
see
to
it.
it.
You'll see it. You'll see it.
You ready to give us a word?
No, I'm not actually. All right, y'all. It's time for Uniquely Speaking. Yeah. You should have redo and just said that's what you are.
I didn't want it to run too long.
The last one was 45 seconds.
I didn't think that was I thought I had cut that one because it was already in my iTunes.
No,
but
but
it wasn't.
the last Uniquely Speaking.
Huh?
This is for Rachel.
Oh,
that was like a
but
minute.
you had to listen to all of that. But then again, I get what you're saying. You kind of have to have that's what you are. Okay. Kelvin's making me do more work for free.
All the time. Oh, I'm supposed to be talking. All right, so Uniquely Speaking this week is I'm gonna take just a stab at something just a little bit different this time because we have Rae here and she's a multifaceted. But one thing that really is intriguing to me is about her photography. And I think like sometimes like I look at the eyes of a photographer. The eyes of a photographer has to honestly see you in a different light than what you see yourself. Because when you are posing or you're trying to get the stuff together, you don't know how this outfit's looking now on you. You don't see if this pose feels awkward. How's my face doing? I don't know really what I'm going through right now. I'm not comfortable. What is this? But the job of photographer is to see you in a different light than you see yourself, to have the vision and the foresight to see you through the lens. And I think that in life, we forget that a higher being sees us in a different lens than we see ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We go through life, we say, I don't know if I'm good enough for this. I don't know if I can really do this thing. I don't know if this part is going to work out for me. But then somebody, a higher being, is telling you, like, I see you before you saw yourself. I had the foresight to put you in this situation. I made you this awkward in this situation because I can see through my camera lens how beautiful it is. Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes when we are put in situations that we feel like aren't the best, that we feel like we're a little bit stressed, we feel like this is not where it's supposed to be, we have to remember that it's not our plan. We're not taking the picture. God's taking the picture. Mm-hmm. He has a bigger picture for us. No matter how awkward we feel like the pose is, no matter if the clothes aren't fitting right, no matter if we aren't doing everything that we feel like needs to be done to make this shot the best, mm-hmm. God has the camera and he's already angling it up. He's already setting up the shot for you. He's already painting a beautiful picture that you can't see. So this week, I want you to remember, as you go out through your week, although you may feel uncomfortable posing, you may not like the outfit, you may not like what's going on, but remember that God has the camera, mm-hmm. and he has the final say in how the photo's going to be finished.
Go off, bitch.
That's this week. You need to speak.
The applause with the Unique really did something just now.
It did feel like we got a Beyonce concert.
Mm-hmm. So, like, why would y'all ever be louder than Unique?
I don't know.
The audience needs to calm down.
Needs to calm down. Like, calm down, people.
People,
simmer down. Simmer down now. Simmer down.
Okay. Thank you. I love that though. That was really good.
That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
That was really deep. And it's so interesting, like going off that point of like not fully seeing the vision. Like I remember on our last birthday photo shoot, me and Rae, well, I was really having a lot of technical difficulties with the outfit because I had a vision on like certain poses and things, but then the fabric wouldn't stretch. And I was sitting there, she's like, "You look stiff." I said, "Rae, I'm stiff. I can't do much. The sleeves are down here and I'm like this." So it was just like, but the pictures came out so beautiful. So like trusting that vision and like just going and sometimes being in the space and giving what you have to offer. And it's like, wow, this really blew my mind. And I think, like you were saying, if a lot of us would see the final product to the end, we would be shocked at what we're capable of. So I love that. And I love what you do as well.
I love what Rae does.
I love both of you guys.
Absolutely.
And what you do. And just everything about you guys.
Oh, thank you.
You guys make my heart so happy, honestly. And I'm so proud.
I'm so happy that you finally were on the Get Right. Thank you so much for being a part of
all these years.
Finally, after all these years, I did
259 episodes.
Yes.
Rae watches. Ray's mom watches.
Yes, literally.
Hi, Ray's mom.
Family. What's up, y'all? They ask about you all the time.
I love your mom so much.
So, but I finally made it here, y'all.
Yes.
I did it. got on the mic. I put my nerves outside.
Mm-hmm.
We love it.
And just like that, we're finished.
See?
Just like that, we're finished. So let's wrap this hoe up.
All right.
I'm ready to get the fuck ASAP after this shit.
Period. So towards the end of our show, we like to
Rae
recap what we've learned.
Yeah.
She knows.
Oh yeah, duh. You listen. I told myself to start giving people that so that way when they hear that, they don't think I'm just like trying to kick them out without like give them more. So I'm like give them an explanation as to what's happening. Gotta assume people don't know. So what have we learned today?
What have we learned?
Yes.
We have learned that Des Moines, Iowa is on some fuck shit.
Yes, absolutely.
Get that shit together. We learned that the governor in Texas is also on some fuck shit.
Shady boots.
Get that shit together. We also learned that Black Negro anthems are not always
that.
Yeah. Because just because Knuck If You Buck does not mean that Lift Every Voice and Sing. And I bet you Regina Hall knows Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is the official Black national anthem.
Should know Lift Every Voice and Sing.
She's from DC.
Yeah,
she should.
That is one that you should know.
The Black national anthem for me is Stomp.
Okay, lately I've been going through some things. It's really got me
down.
Put your hands together.
All right. GB. Like that is the Black national anthem for me. What have I learned today? Well, I have a new Black national anthem. And I have been reminded that there is a lot of beauty in this world and that I have amazing friends. And also that I tell my friends all the time when they compliment me, it's a deflection, but I also mean it when I say it, that I am a reflection of the company I keep. And it's always nice to be reminded of what is possible just by looking around me, like seeing what Kelvin does on the daily and who he is, seeing who you are, what you do, knowing what I do and what I have done. Like that is power in itself. And if nothing else, if you ever need like a reset, look around you. If you have quality people around you, they should be able to provide you with a reset. And that doesn't mean that they need to be in the space. But if you're ever having like questions or doubts about your abilities, look at not only what you've accomplished before, but like what everyone around you is doing and celebrate being a part of that space. And the show's finished. I thought we had 2 minutes.
I thought we did too.
That was so abrupt. Well, we're on StreamYard. So, Rae, can you plug yourself one more time, your social media?
Yes. So you guys can find me at Raes. That's RaesRays on all streaming platforms. I tried to make it very simple for everybody. So Raes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as always, you can catch me on IG at The World According to Eric, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Eric Devontae.
Yes, and I'm Kelvin Unique, KELVINEUNIQUE on your Instagram. To flip that to Unique Kelvin on Twitter. And then make sure you follow the Get Right Radio Show on Instagram, the Get Right Radio Show, and download the Good News Radio app so you can listen to this show. And also hop on StreamYard. We're on YouTube too. So get on YouTube and see us there.
Right.
Yeah.
And as always, I hope you got right.
That's right. Get right or get left.
Bitch, you better get right.